Ahoy folks, Lazy Gamer here with another King of Games deck review, this time being on Mermails. The run went smoothly, for the most part hitting KoG in 65 games, and this was pre-nerf, towards the latest ban list aimed at Subterror, Weevils, Parasite Skill, Amazonas and Gem Knights, among other stuff, but got the Cybernetic Rebellion box opening in another video, linked in the description. Though would suggest not to invest into this deck if you don't have the support from previous boxes already. This build being quite expensive, spread across 3 main boxes being Cybernetic Rebellion that was recently released, Gaia Genesis, and Abyss Encounters. Even then, it may be a chancy investment as I have yet to see how Mermails will affect the meta, whether they'll hit the tier list, and if this latest support is enough to make them contend. Though we'll be going through each card in brief detail, followed by potential combos to make and some example duels as well. To begin, the character used was Mako, with the skill being Mythic Depths, which begins the duel with Umi activated on your side of the field. As for the cards, Mermail Abystius can be special summoned onto the field from the hand by discarding another water monster from your hand to the grave. When this occurs, you can then add one level 4 or lower Mermail monster from your deck to your hand, and you can only use this effect once per turn. It's a solid card to search for Lind or Pike, which we'll get to. Usually used for defensive plays, but also a decent 1900 beater with Umi on the field. Mermail Abyss Megalo can be special summoned by discarding 2 other water monsters from your hand to the grave. When this is done, you can add one Abyss spell or trap from your deck to your hand. While Megalo is on the field, you contribute one other face-up attack position water monster in order to allow Megalo to make a second attack during the turn this effect was activated. Basically the boss monster of the deck, alongside Citadel. As for Deep Sea Diva, it's a 2-star tuner which was just released in Cybernetic Rebellion. When normal summoned, it can then special summon one level 3 or lower Sea Serpent type monster from your deck, allowing for synchro summons to occur right away if chosen. And this build is running a Citadel, which can be special summoned from the hand or graveyard by tributing 2 water monsters on your field. When special summoned, you can then set one Sea Stealth attack from your deck onto the field. Also once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets one water monster you control. As a quick effect, you can negate the activation, then destroy that card. Well, Treacherous Trap Hole can bypass this if comboed with SSA, banishing one of your 2 targeted water monsters. Citadel's effect becomes live again. Mermail Abyss Spike, when normal or special summoned, allows you to discard one water monster from your hand to the grave to add one level 3 water monster from your deck to your hand. This effect can only be used once per turn, but a decent play to make for searching a card you need, as well as popping an opponent's set card or monster if discarding an Atlantean. Mermail Abyss Lind, when destroyed and sent to the graveyard, can then special summon one Mermail monster from your deck, except for another Abyss Lind. This effect can only be used once per turn. A decent play to make in order to get out Megalo a lot faster, or combo into Pike with Atlanteans in hand. As for Atlanteans, we've got Marksman and Heavy Infantry in this build. Atlantean Marksman has the effect of special summoning one level 4 or lower Atlantean Sea Serpent type monster from your deck when inflicting battle damage to your opponent. You can't summon another Marksman from it though. Also, when this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a water monster's effect, target one set card your opponent controls, then destroy it. Atlantean Heavy Infantry allows you to normal summon one level 4 or lower Sea Serpent type monster in addition to your normal summoner set that turn. This effect can only be used once per turn, and similar to Marksman, while Heavy Infantry is sent to the grave to activate a water monster's effect, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, then destroy it. Abyss Scale of the Kraken can be equipped only to a Mermail monster, gaining at 400 attack. It also has the effect of negating an opponent's monster's effect as soon as it occurs. Kraken is then sent to the graveyard after the negate, and with the current meta being Red Eyes, Subterror, 6 Sounds in the lot, this equipped card does see a fair amount of use. Abyss Sphere allows you to special summon one Mermail monster from your deck, having its effects negated. While it's live, you cannot activate any spell cards either. Also, automatically Sphere is destroyed during your opponent's next end phase after its activation. Sphere seems to be a must-have in the updated Mermail build, getting into what you need much faster than previously, and great to combo with Abyss Lind, with Lind's effect activating when Sphere is destroyed. A tip would also be that it's possible to activate it during the opponent's turn, and have Sphere destroyed during the opponent's end phase, potentially special summoning a Megalo through Lind's effect for the following turn to make plays. Finally, the Sea Stealth attack, which is solid protection for this deck. When activated, you can activate one Umi from your hand or grave. While Umi is on the field, SSA gains the following effects. Once per turn, you can banish one water monster you control until the end phase. During the turn this effect is activated, spells and traps you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, even if SSA leaves the field. Also, at the start of the damage step, if your water monster whose original level is 5 or higher battles an opponent's monster, destroy that opponent's monster. In this current meta, at the time of recording, SSA works great against Subterrors, preventing the flip effects, as well as taking out high attack monsters, just the main concern being Cosmic Cyclone. In the extra deck, we've got a copy of Vermilion Dragon, which once per turn can banish one tuner from the hand, field, or grave to target one card on the field and destroy it. If Vermilion is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the grave, you can target one of your banished tuners and add it to your hand. Also got Black Rose Dragon, when synchro summoned, can then destroy all cards on the field. Also, once per turn, you can banish one plant-type monster from your grave, then target one defense position monster your opponent controls, switch it to attack position, and if you do, its attack becomes 0 until the end of this turn. That second effect not seeing any use in this build though. Also there's Armadiz. When it attacks or is being attacked, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. Then there's Gungnir, Dragon of the Ice Barrier, which was just released in Cybernetics as well, which allows you to discard up to 2 cards to the grave from your hand to target the same number of cards your opponent controls, then destroy them. It's a great synchro for this deck, and you could use its effect on Atlantean cards, giving you double the pop. White Aura Dolphin has the effect of targeting one face-up monster your opponent controls, and then have its attack until the end of this turn. If Dolphin is destroyed by an opponent's card, whether by battle or card effect, and sent to your grave, you can then banish one other water monster from your grave to special summon this card back onto the field. If you do, Dolphin is treated as a tuner. The effect of summoning Dolphin from the grave can be done as many times as there is water monsters in your grave during a single turn. And lastly, Crystron Amatrix, when synchro summoned, can then change all face-up special summon monsters your opponent controls to defense position. Its second effect doesn't work in this build, but when destroyed by battle or card effect, you can target one Crystron monster in your grave except for a synchro monster and special summon it. After going through these cards, it might be more clear to see the types of plays to be made. As a few examples, if going first, it might be ideal just to set a Lind and Sphere if that's the starting hand. It's possible to start out with a Diva and Marksman in hand as well, then normal summon the Diva to special summon a Heavy Infantry, followed up by another normal summon of the Marksman, and in that turn able to get into a 7-star synchro. Citadel can also be special summoned after Diva brings out a second monster onto the field. That ought to cover the deck review though, with the following example duels to provide more info on how to run the deck, or how I did at least. Also the KoG runs in the description too if you care to check it out, but I appreciate you all tuning in. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'll get back to each and every one of you. Thank you kindly, hope it was of some benefit, and we'll catch you later.
Duel. Duel. Duel.